So, you want to counter every character in Marvel Rivals. Let's get right to it. Character specific timestamps are in the description. Let's start with Vanguards and the worst of them all, Hulk. All you have to do is stay away from this character at all costs when it comes to close range. Hulk loses to extremely high amounts of burst damage and stuns. Remember to wait for his gamma shield, then stun him. Stuns are the most effective way to deal with Hulk. Captain America's shield only protects in front of him and not behind him or the sides of him, which means certain abilities can hit him from those angles. The key to fighting Cap is forcing him to use his abilities far away from you and keeping distance between him. Doctor Strange is pretty hard to counter, but for the most part, when he uses his ultimate, you're going to want to stun him as soon as you see the green icon pop up above his head. If possible, try to get Strange to change the angle of his shield. This will force him to try to block multiple perspectives from all the incoming damage, making it difficult for him to protect his entire team. Versus Magneto, literally all you have to do is just dive this character. He struggles immensely against high mobility targets. Just dive him. That's all you have to do. Wait for his cooldowns and just dive him. Against Peni Parker, you have to destroy Spider Nest. While in the cyberwebs of the Spider Nest, she gains healing over time and a movement speed boost, with excess healing converting into bonus health. Destroy the Spider Nest, then look to fight Peni Parker. Versus Venom, you want to use your stuns and defensive abilities after he activates his bonus health. Then once he's stunned, you want to use your bigger cooldowns with bigger damage to get that maximum amount of damage onto him before he tries to escape. Venom is much easier to kill when that bonus health is not active. If you're playing a high damage character, please just shoot the Groot walls. It makes it so much easier for you to destroy this character. If you have movement abilities, look to go over the Groot wall and then destroy Groot or his backline. The worst thing about Thor is being CC'd during Awakening, so you're going to want to hit him with that CC during Awakening because he does not have access to his other abilities. In this state, Thor does gain bonus health, but he cannot use any of his abilities to return back to his team, making him extremely vulnerable. Let's talk about duelist characters. Most of the time, Black Panther will pass through you on his dash, so you want to stun him when he gets behind you. Panther loses hard to stuns, big helpful characters like tanks, and abilities that can straight up block his spear. Long sightlines are also not good for Panther because he needs to save his abilities for when he's in the fight, not to get into the fight. Versus Black Widow, just play a mobile character and dive this character. Black Widow struggles when characters force her off her spot and she consistently has to work around the enemy team. When jumping Black Widow, use abilities to either block the kick or avoid the kick entirely. In this example, I use Iron Fist Dragon Defense to block the kick. Common counters are Hulk, Venom, Spider-Man, Iron Fist, and Black Panther. With Hawkeye, you want to avoid the Ronin Slash or block it entirely. Use abilities to get out of the way of this move. If you can bait him to Ronin Slash when you first engage or use abilities to maneuver around it, that's half the battle against Hawkeye. This character is extremely hard to counter because of his one-shot ability, but if you're looking to at least try to counter him somewhat, you need to be able to dive him and avoid that Ronin Slash. Hela is extremely hard to counter. You want to use some sort of ability to block her stuns and make sure that you always have an answer for her ultimate, because her ultimate can wipe your entire team. Versus Iron Fist, you do not shoot at him until after he uses his block. That way you cannot charge his block and give him that bonus health. Then after he uses the block, place a stun and delete him. Characters like Namor with his turrets and Peni Parker's Spider Nest are great counters to many of the melee characters in this game, especially Iron Fist. Versus Iron Man, literally just pick Hela, Punisher, Hawkeye, or Spider-Man. Iron Man loses badly to long-range characters or characters that can instantly delete him fast with one-shot combos like Spider-Man. Make sure you track his ultimate and use abilities to block it because his ultimate will wipe your team. Keep in mind that Iron Man's ultimate also has 2 hitboxes to it, so if you don't get hit by the direct hit of ultimate, you still can take damage from this move. Look to punish Magik with stuns or high damaging abilities after she exits her portal. Flash damage is one of your best friends against Magik simply because this character is always in the fight. Common counter picks against Magik are Hawkeye, Hela, Punisher, Black Widow, and Namor. Against Moon Knight, literally just shoot the Ox. Like, I don't know how many times I have to say it, just shoot the Ox. Make sure you track his ultimate and know when he has it so you can save a movement ability to escape. This character also sucks really badly against highly mobile characters and characters who fly. It is extremely hard for Moon Knight to deal damage to those characters. Since you made it this far in the video, you might as well hit that subscribe button, and it lets me know that you really enjoyed the content and will help me reach my goal of 10k subscribers. Namor loses when you consistently kill his turrets and he has to use his bubble cooldown early. Namor typically loses in close combat situations, or he has to use his cooldowns to protect himself and is taking too much damage. Force him to use that precious bubble cooldown, then punish him. Versus Psylocke, you want to identify her to your team with pings and making sure you deal meaningful damage to her before she gets to you. Once you spot Psylocke and deal that good damage to her, most of the time she has to use cooldowns to escape or win the fight. When you know Psylocke has her ultimate, make sure you save movement cooldowns to escape. Psylocke always returns to the middle of the circle after her ultimate ends. You can use this information to tee up damage on Psylocke and eliminate her after her ultimate. Always maintain distance or high ground against Scarlet Witch. It is very difficult for her to deal meaningful damage to you and actually KO you with her left click if you're far away enough from her. Burst healing is Spider-Man's biggest nightmare, as oftentimes you can use burst healing to completely escape being one-shot by this character. Spider-Man also struggles to kill tanks and high HP targets, so if you're on Vanguard, use those shields and bubbles to protect your team so that way they do not get hit with a Spider Tracer. Against Squirrel Girl, don't stay cluttered with your team and play high grounds. When Squirrel Girl is airborne from her super jump, she doesn't have too much aerial mobility, so it makes it extremely easy for you to line up shots against her. As one of the worst characters in the game and having absolutely zero mobility, literally just shoot Storm. She loses very badly to characters like Spider-Man, Hela, Punisher, and Hawkeye. Destroying tall buildings and eliminating cover for Storm is also a really good strategy. When Punisher's in turret mode, hug a wall and use that distance between you and Punisher to destroy the turret. Punisher's biggest weakness is being dived. He's not very good at fighting very highly mobile targets except for with his shotgun. In his shotgun, you have to land the majority of your shots in order to deal damage and kill a diving character. Winter Soldier loves mid-range and typically struggles to fight against airborne opponents or opponents have very long range. If you get hit by Winter Soldier ultimate, you want to play with your team and away from the Winter Soldier, so that way he has to overextend in order to get resets on his ultimate, making it very difficult for him to get value. Many people don't know this, but Wolverine deals damage equal to 1.5% of the target's max health. So Wolverine's primary fire, Savage Claw, will deal more damage against opponents who have more health. This makes Wolverine a direct counter against Vanguards. Wolverine loses in situations where he cannot land his grab and bring you towards the enemy team. Use high grounds to force Wolverine to have to use his cooldowns to chase you. Star-Lord is a very difficult character to counter because he has an answer to every situation, but generally you want to make sure you always save a support ult against Star-Lord because his ultimate is so strong it can easily wipe your entire team. Movement abilities or abilities that give you invulnerability are key against Jeff's ultimate. Make sure you track the ultimate and remember that Jeff always ends up in the center of his ultimate after using it. You can use this information to easily punish Jeff. Here my buddy Jackal uses Namor's bubble and then immediately cancels the bubble, using the ultimate with Namor to delete Jeff. Abilities that give characters bubble shields and Cloak and Dagger's right click are some examples of abilities that can easily avoid Jeff's ultimate. Against Luna Snow, keep in mind that this character is not invincible when she uses her ultimate. When diving Luna Snow, always save an ability to protect yourself against her freeze. After the freeze is gone, Luna Snow becomes one of the easiest characters to eliminate. Shooting Loki clones is more important than you think because this character has insane healing output when he has all 3 of his clones available. If you get rid of his clones, however, his healing output becomes very lackluster and he doesn't provide that much healing, especially for Vanguard characters. Loki's ultimate when he copies an opponent also has an extremely long startup time. You can use this timing to stun him and making sure that he does not get that clone off. Mantis can easily sleep an opponent by throwing a sleep bomb at the opponent's feet. If possible, stay airborne and mobile to make it more difficult for Mantis to land her sleep bomb. Dagger's Veil of Light Force and Cloak's Terror Cape can be blocked by barriers. Use barriers and shields to deny health and damage from these abilities. Cloak and Dagger are stationary for a few seconds after using their ultimate. Immediately focus them and kill them after using their ultimate because it deletes the effects of their ultimate once they die. As soon as their ultimate ends, look to stun them and displace them away from their ultimate so they cannot get the effects of it. Here, after Wolverine eliminates Cloak and Dagger, their Eternal Bond ultimate field is gone. Versus Rocket, pick a very mobile character, look to get to the backline and destroy his beacon. And this is where the majority of his value comes from the armor packs that he can give out and he can revive teammates. If your character has an extremely high damage output, you can also destroy Rocket's ultimate, the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. Iron Man and Punisher are 2 great characters for destroying this ultimate. Adam Warlock struggles against high mobility characters who can dive him because he has no abilities for defending himself. Any high mobility DPS like Black Panther, Spider-Man, or even tanks like Venom and Hulk do very well against Adam Warlock. If you want to improve at Marvel Rivals and be coached by a top level player who also has university esports level experience in games like Overwatch and other hero shooters, join the Discord server, link to that is in the description. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and if you made this far, hit that subscribe button, it really helps out the channel. My name is Niall, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.